Moving on, Azimio leader Raila Odinga has spelled out 8 demands to the Kenya Kwanza government over the proposed Finance Bill 2023. Speaking on Tuesday, Raila said the punitive bill does not spur economic growth or generate wealth. He insisted that it traces and kills opportunities. He said Kenya is ripe for tax reforms, but this is not the way to go. Our reporter William Juma reports.
Kenyans will dig deeper in their pockets to avoid paying higher prices for the 3 petroleum products effective Monday, May 15th. In the latest review by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, EPRA. In a statement on Sunday, EPRA's Director General Daniel Bogoria said that the increase is attributable to the average cost of imported refined petroleum products, which has seen the landing cost of imports varying in prices. The landing cost of super petroleum increased by 8.3% in March 2023. A diesel decreased by 2.51%, with kerosene also dropped to 1.13%. This will see super petrol, diesel and kerosene increase by 3.40 Kenyan shilling per litre, 6.40 Kenyan shilling per litre, and 15.19 Kenyan shilling per litre respectively, a review which will be in force up to June 14, 2023. The upward revision in the cost of all 3 fuel products now send the cost of super petrol in the capital Nairobi to 182.70 Kenyan shilling for petrol prices per litre, while diesel and kerosene have increased to 168.40 Kenyan shilling and 161.13 Kenyan shilling respectively. However, the subsidy on diesel and kerosene has been removed. The readjustment comes amidst the proposed tax measures by the Kenya Kwanza regime, tailored towards raising the revenue to finance its budget, which continues to draw sharp reaction from the cross-political divide. The head of state defended his government's decision to increase VAT on petroleum products from 8% to 16%.
Tumeondoa ushuru katika sehemu karibu 15. So sio kweli hii porojo inaendeshwa na wenzetu wa upinzani wakisaidiwa na vyombo vya habari kwamba serikali hii inaendesha tu mambo ya kuongeza ushuru. Sio kweli bana.
For example, President Ruto now says the suggestion to hike VAT on petroleum products by his economic advisory team will give the government 50 billion Kenyan shilling.
We have reduced almost 500 billion. Because I am conscious that we are not in a good place.
According to the head of state, his government in August last year found a 900 billion shilling commitment on Kenyan roads, which they have tried to cut down by stopping some of the roads that have been not constructed.
When I came into office also, I found that we had commitments of 900 billion Kenya shillings on the roads. Yeah, 900 billion. I have tried to work with the various departments, Kera, Kura, Kenha, to try and understand how do we manage this 900 billion.
Ruto also said that the lowering of gas cylinder prices to a low of between 300 Kenyan shilling and 500 Kenyan shilling for a 6-kilogram barrel will not be possible by June as earlier promised.
Tunaokota ushuru kutoka mambo ya kerosene. Yeah? Tutaitumia kusecuritize. Ndio tupunguze gharama ya mtungi ya gas. Because they are destroying this market and they are undermining our efforts.
Na unaweza hakikishia Wakenya kwamba
budget tukipitisha, tutapunguza gharama ya gas
kati ya shilingi 300 na 500 kwa mtungi.
Kwanza mtungi, wacha gas. Ile tunapunguza kati ya shilingi 300 na 500 ni mtungi yenyewe.
Ruto had on March the 2nd said that his government will reduce the gas prices by removing the tax, leading to a drop in the prices of the gas cylinders from 2,800 Kenyan shilling to 300 Kenyan shilling or 500 Kenyan shilling from the month of June. But in a joint media interview with journalists at State House, Nairobi, the president said the plan was no longer possible within the said timeline. At the same time, President Ruto shut down claims of an extra hand of pressure on the Kenyan government by the International Monetary Fund (IMF) in order to repay the debt it owes the global lender.
The International Monetary Fund does not run the government of Kenya. I do.
Last month, Central Bank of Kenya Governor Patrick Njoroge said Kenya was expecting at least 161 Kenyan shilling in financing inflows between April and May, and is in talks for new funding from the IMF to support failing forex reserves. During the launch of Defense CS Aden Duale's book On the Record on Thursday night, the National Assembly Majority Whip Silvanus Osoro assured President William Ruto that Kenya Kwanza Alliance lawmakers will unanimously support the Finance Bill 2023.
Government does not lose, even when it's unpopular, that it will not lose. With the fact that government does not lose, I also want to assure you that even the Finance Bill will pass. Government does not lose.
Teachers attached to the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers (KUPPET) on Friday, May 12th, opposed the housing fund introduced by President William Ruto.
1.2 million. Ukitoanisha hizo mahesabu 1.2 million ukidivide by hiyo 18,000 mwalimu anafaa kutoa every year, unapata mwalimu atalipia hiyo nyumba for 66 years. Mimi mwenyewe nikianza kulipa saa hii 66 years, kweli mimi nitakuwa hai? Na hata 66 years hata mwalimu akianza kufundisha akiwa na mwaka mmoja, hiyo 66 atakuwa ameritaya, atakuwa naishi wapi? Sisi tunasema walimu tumejipanga, tulianza kujipanga kutoka kitambo. Tafadhali serikali achana na hii housing levy kwa walimu.
While addressing the press, the union argued that a number of its members already owned houses, demanding that they should be exempted from the 3% deduction.
To the levy of 3%. The reason being, our teachers have already constructed houses in their rural homes where they stay with their animals, chicken and what have you. On the same note, I also want to say that those teachers who have not constructed houses have already taken loans from SACCOs and mortgages from other financial institutions so that they can construct their own houses. Teachers have their own taste and their own sets, and they have their own areas where they want to put up their houses. So we are saying no to this program.
A decent house ya mwalimu.
In addition, National Council of Churches in Kenya have added their voices to the call for reduction of higher taxation proposed in the Finance Bill 2023.
Katika nyakati ambazo ni ngumu sana na kutoka COVID ingia katika taifa letu la Kenya na kwa ulimwengu mzima, maisha hayajakuwa vile yalivyokuwa hapo awali.
Kama kanisa tuko na hofu kwa sababu tunajua mafuta ikiguzwa hivyo, ikipanda bei ni kumaanisha kwamba kila kitu kitapanda bei.
Hakuna jambo kubwa ambalo limefanya mama mboga akainuka ili aweze sasa kufanyiwa a bigger taxation.
The same sentiments were echoed by Workers' Union.
So if they increase anything, they are going to kill such civil servants.
Now, coming to the housing levy, many of us have already made arrangements for our retirement. And we do not intend to be given government houses. We know it won't be possible. Government won't be able to give us houses. We made our arrangements. We've committed our money. We've mortgages, we've loans that we use to build houses for ourselves. We don't intend to receive government houses.
One of the controversial items in the proposed bill is increasing the tax on fuel from 8% to 16%. Additionally, the bill proposes a 3% deduction of basic salaries to go towards the National Housing Development Fund. Employers will have to match their employees' deduction with another 3%.
And if you're telling me that it is an investment, then you must tell me what kind of interest am I going to get out of it, so that I can make up my mind whether I want to take my money to the financial market, or I want to invest my money, put my money as a deposit in the bank to earn an interest. But there must be a choice.
Asking government, because you said you wanted public participation, the pronouncement you are making that public servants must pay the housing levy makes nonsense of the public participation. Why don't you then rule by degree? Why do you invite public participation if the government has already made a decision that come what rain or sunshine, they will deduct the housing levy fund?
Furthermore, it proposes a 5% excise tax on more products than previous budgets. Additionally, items said to be taxed included fake buds, eyebrows, eyelashes, and wigs. The controversial proposals which seek to upside taxes has already set a stage for a heated debate, with Azimio coalition bracing for a fight. Azimio leader Raila Odinga vowing that his coalition will shoot down the proposals.
Yeah, the bipartisan talks, we've received a progress report from our team, and they're saying that they've made some progress. They're going to continue next week. There are issues which are very critical, which we give a deadline of 30 days. That those within 30 days, we must have a solution. This includes the cost of living, the cost of essential commodities like unga, oil, cooking oil, the price of electricity, school fees, and so on.
Already the parliament has called on Kenyans to submit their views on the Finance Bill 2023 to the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning by 20th May, as a review of the proposal commences with concerns arrives at the proposed higher taxes, which will be passed on to the consumer at a high time when the cost of living is at an all-time high. Kenyans will be waiting to see which members of the National Assembly will start to be counted and whether they will yield to pressure to shut down the proposals. For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, my name is William Juma.